1 in a million, but I'm saying, Leah, please. New York. Leah, please. Dude. But I'm not changing your name. Get caught. Don't make fun. So here, when I cut, so some of you are kind of rotating out like this for some reason, right? Don't do that. When you cut down, your hand and your foot work together. This is just a very basic version. It's not the way, it's just a way. But you don't want to create space. You don't want to come here, do this, and then step out like this and grab the head. Incorrect. Uchi, you're inside, stay inside. Stay inside. Okay, you just roll, just for the kogi. Right? Here, turn, hand and foot move back, and then if you want a tenkan, bring your head to your hip, and extend, okay? Try again. So when I move in, right, I don't want to cut any corners. I want to make sure that I'm very precise. So you see how I turned? Right? So I'm not doing this. It may look the same, but I'm not doing this and then walking backwards. Okay, so you see the separation that I already caused? If I was him, I would kick me in the nuts or tackle my legs. Okay? And everybody and their mother knows jujitsu, so don't assume, right? So when I cut, I turn. Now when he tries to grab my legs or something, he can't. Okay? So I turn and I turn back. Give yourself more options, not less. Right? Strike, turn. So don't cut corners. So one of the keys for me, I rely on is when I throw, this hand goes by his hip. If your hand is out here somewhere, your spacing is not good. It's always by his hip. So I can tighten over his body, but a lot of times I just push the hip. Okay? So check yourself. Okay? A little bit more. This. So I'm not doing this. I move in. Okay? That's basic level. It's not wrong. But if you're more advanced, you should be able to do that to compromise it. Because if he steps forward and he plants his foot, now it's a static technique. It's okay. But when I move in, he's waiting to be thrown. He's waiting to be thrown. Okay? So what I do is I always shift to keep him off balance and make my life a little bit easier. Because now his weight is on his front foot. He's not as set. Right? So that's why I do a little of that. Okay? Here. Here's his hip. Here's my row. Okay? So this time, you're gonna come here. Connect with your elbow. This is my atemi, sorry. Okay. So what just happened? To our point, right? I don't want to stop. I want him to come and I want him to run into a punch. Okay, give it a shot. Here, but look where my body is. This is not an accident. Intentionally, I take the space. Now, when I do this, I'm right here. So if you don't like to fight inside, your life is going to be rough. So here. Make sense? Right. So in, connect, turn. So my footwork is minimal. I'm not moving a lot. Okay? Because from my training and my experience, if someone tries to punch me, I don't block. If I block, it's a last resort. If he tries to punch me, I slip and I counter. I don't like do this and stop. Right? If we're inside and he's punching, I'll jab him up. But if I have distance and he punches, I slip. So the reason I don't do the Timmy, because if I'm coming at him and he throws in a Timmy, if I didn't know anything, I would probably freeze. Stop. It stops the energy from flowing. So that's why I don't do it. It's not that it's incorrect, just my experience, I don't do that. When I move, and if I do utilize a Timmy, I'm hitting the ear because he can't see it and it doesn't stop him. If I aim at his head, his lights go off. So that's my reasoning, okay? So, and you know, the best hit is the one they don't see, right? So even when I'm coming in, if I hit him with my elbow, that's good enough. I just want to jar him a little bit. If I want to hit him, I'm going to hit him. I'm not going to hit him to make a technique work. Okay? So when I do this, that's the strike for me. And then we do whatever. So to answer your question, if you do it to me, in my experience, don't make it obvious. Okay? Very conscientiously in the same spot. It's not an accident that his arm is not over there or there. It's right here, because this is good for my connection. Now when I just do this, he's connected. He's connected to me. So when I move, he moves. Right? So I go here, I turn. Right? So you know, Timmy people, right? Strike, 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 strike. So the connection is right here with the body. Okay, so distance, distance, distance. Okay. Here. So this is, we talk about distance. You don't have to raise your hand, but if you want to, that's okay. Okay. So we're here. Lead, turn. You can throw that way, you can throw this way. We're not going to throw, we're just going to load up, okay? Right? Because this is going to help us work with the distance. Right? When I come up, I'm already active on both sides of my body. It's not that this side is dead. I'm already active. Right? Okay? Right? So, it's really not much to do. Just going to do it right. So when I rotate, I'm right in the perfect position for me. Okay? A little bit more, in the arts case, ballet, whatever, right? So use those tools, right? And your footwork and your precision, right? So for me, when I come up, Leo, you asked about the elbow getting hit. I'm used to using my body to block. So I've already got him checked. If Jeff tries to move, right? I just, that's all I do. And then when I come up and I step back, in my mind, I'm hitting him. Right? Bill. Right? Always hitting. And that helps. If you punch correctly, you're going to turn your body the correct way. Right? And now I'm right here for this position. Okay? So efficiency is very important. And if you're doing something in 8, 9 moves, see if you can cut it down to 7 moves or 6 moves. Okay? So now from here, we're just going to step into a straight throw. Right? Pretty easy, right? Okay? Give it a shot. So throw this way. So, no problem, that's static. Zushi. So my goal is, as she grabs, to keep the string, pulling on the string. And if we're static, it looks like that. If we're in motion, I'm turning. As she grabs slowly, to keep her moving. Or I might step back. Okay. That's fine too. If her intent is honest, then you use it. Okay?
Right?
Good shot. Change partners.
Work the one with you.
So I'm doing the same thing with this shift, right? To draw him in a little bit more. But you have to be stable even in your motion, right? I want to make sure that I'm like not stumbling around. So for me, it always starts with the ground. Okay? Good shot. In danger, right? You have to control the energy. If I draw the energy so much, it's hard, right? So I have to know just where's that neutral zone. We talked about that earlier, right? If I pull her in, or better yet, Alex, or anyone who's big and strong, I got to deal with that energy I created. So I shift, but part of my exercise, when I do from the Kogi, I'm doing ground training, not upper body training. So I'm stable. So even though I'm not exactly retreating, I'm shifting back and I'm still jabbing. In other words, when I shift back, my energy's not going back. I'm drawing her in, but I'm still thinking forward. Make sense?
Okay.
And I just changed my orientation, and now when I start doing this, he's just gonna orbit.
Right.
Right? That happens sometimes, right? So what I'm doing, I'm going straight, and my goal is to get his elbow almost in back of him. We did this yesterday, right? So, I'm gonna displace his hip. If I just swing his arm out, if I was him, I would go with it. If he plants his feet, it might work, but it's not natural to plant your feet like that. I don't. So when I move, I take that space. Shift. Right? A little bit more.
Right.
Now which way is it? Okay. So I know it's tempting just to kind of turn and do something like this, but that's wrong. All right, so you always want to be thinking ahead. When we do, there you go. All right, same thing, right? I'm not turning away from him. I'm going him back. Still cutting.